Hey everybody, this is Jose. Welcome back to another episode of my 1.7.10 Direwolf20 server pack server play. And yeah, it has been about a week since I've done any recording on here, and a lot of stuff has been done. I've been on vacation, but I've still been playing on here because I do have a gaming laptop, but it's not quite good enough to continue to do any recording on, so that's why I have made all this progress off camera, and quite frankly, it has been a lot. So, me and a another player on here, Kale, have we've been working on our homes still. Mine hasn't actually changed that much, but his has made quite a bit of progress. We'll probably give it a look here in just a minute. But I've also made some progress on my house, so I do want to go ahead and kind of show you guys how I've done. So over here, I have a vanilla Minecraft enchantment table set up, and behind my staircase, I've now made a full set of thermal expansion machines, and this is pretty complete. I do apologize for that little notification sound there. So this is a pretty complete setup with a full spew of machines, and I'm still using the Buildcraft kinetic, or rather kinesis pipes for transmitting my power. I have made a few upgrades. I've got these elevators on both sides. I think I had that last time, but down here, I have a tank for my XP with an XP depositing system here, which is kind of useful. I've made an extra chest here because I did some Twilight Forest questing, and I've gotten a lot of sort of non-stacking and special tools and items and whatever. So this chest isn't actually hooked up to anything as far as sorting goes, and this is just where I kind of dump things myself. As far as the resources and stuff go, I'm pretty much about the same level that I was at the last time. I've been doing a little bit of mining, but spending a lot of my resources on stuff that you'll see as I walk through today's episode here. Whoops, that's not where that belongs. Is anything else? I don't think so. I think that's all that's in here that does not belong. So, yeah, I've kind of been trying to keep myself entertained with the Twilight Forest stuff a lot because I knew that that wouldn't be super entertaining to do on camera, so I went ahead and did it off camera, and I have done a lot of the questing in it. I am up to the Naga, or rather the Hydra, is the most recent enemy that I have defeated, or rather boss that I've defeated. So at this point, I need to go and do the dungeon quest, and then after that, I can defeat the Yurgast. But there's still some stuff left to be done. I think this is exactly the same as I left it. I'm not actually certain, but this is just my little assembly table setup. And you know what? While I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and remove this. I had been wanting to remove this for a little while and couldn't remember to do it apparently on camera. As far as my armor goes, I've pretty much broken all of my diamond armor except for these two bits, which only have about 40, 48, 44 pieces of or uses left on them. So they have taken quite a beating. So I've gone through and replaced them with a good bit of Naga Scale and Steel Leaf and these fiery boots that I just made to get one of the last achievements here in the Twilight Forest page, which was this one right here. It's Gallons of Blood and Tears, and it's wield a fiery tool or weapon while wearing at least one piece of fiery armor. So there's my fiery armor, and here's my fiery tool. And I did enchant it just to see what I could get, and evidently you can get fortune. So I want to try that out later, see if I can get fortune smelting, but I don't know. I also upgraded my energy cell over here to a redstone energy cell, and I'm powering it magically with a tesseract. And basically the way this works, I will show you, is as you may or may not have heard and or guessed, I have a tree farm down here now using MFR. And essentially what happens is I have my harvester over here and the planter's right dead in the center. And basically the trees grow and there's enough. This is I'm using nothing but gold for my planter and harvester upgrades. So the gold upgrades have a radius increase of let's see. What is the radius increase? The radius increase is 7 blocks, so that this is a 15 by 15 area of saplings. And basically because of that, there's so many saplings here that grow, or that can be growing, that usually I have a tree naturally grow very, very quickly, as you can see here. So there's no magic, no automation for, bumping up the speeds. This is vanilla Minecraft ticks, and it's just quick. So my power comes from these steam dynamos, which are being fed. I've got some piping that goes underground, And it's a little bit inefficient. You'll see every now and then I'll get a few pieces of oak wood that pop out of my pipes and end up here, which is my own fault. I haven't set up an excess dumping system for that yet. But basically, all of these steam dynamos are running off of charcoal that I have here from my better barrel, which is a void barrel. This will delete any excess charcoal, and this will do the same for saplings and apples. But basically, my apples and saplings go in their place, and the charcoal gets automatically produced from 3 redstone furnaces that I have making the charcoal, which are all being powered by the steam dynamo, or these steam dynamos. I have, I think, 13? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 13. So I've got 13 of these all running at, I think it's 40 RF per tick? 80 RF, there we go. 80 RF per tick, and they are going down here to 3 redstone furnaces. They're powering the planter and the harvester, and they're also powering my entire system. That being said, I'm not really using my system power for much of anything right now, so there's not a whole lot going on there. So with that kind of in place, I have a few plans here, so yeah. Excuse me, had quite a bit of a coughing fit there. So I have some plans for today's episode with getting started on an applied energistics ad hoc network. And I'll start kind of sorting everything I have via applied energistics, and I think that'd be pretty cool. I think it's about time that I finally make some progress with that. And I think it'd be a good idea to get started with some drives and some storage, because I've mined up plenty of Certus quartz, and I think I might have enough nether quartz even. Oh yeah, I've got plenty of nether quartz. I shouldn't have any problem here, so hopefully this will go well. Oh, and the only other thing I've done is I made another hammer. Since the fortune smelt doesn't work so great, I made this one out of silk touch, and have made it much faster, and it runs on redstone flux, and this is my flux capacitor that I've made for it. And I think next episode, I'm going to start working on doing some flux power stuff for tools, and for probably armor as well, I think would be kind of neat to do. So that'll be the plan for hopefully next episode, and I might go ahead and record next episode back to back right after this one once I get my AE network set up. So I think we should go ahead and get started with the network stuff though. So let's look into what we got to get started here. I'm going to need one of each pattern press. I'm also going to need some charged Certus quartz crystals, which I've actually got plenty of them. Let me see how I'm doing on my patterns here. I've got 3 of the 4 that I will need. I have a engineering, silicone, and logic press, so I need a calculation press. And I think Kale, C. Gibbard on the server, who's not on right now, he probably will be soon. He's, I think, living in Canada. I think he's got the other press, so I'm going to go borrow it and use my block of iron here to make another one of these for the calculation press. Yeah, it's calculation that I need. And while we're here, we'll take a quick tour just to kind of see what he's got going on. He's been working with Ender.io a lot and doing a lot of work with some floating islands, too, that look really cool. And it seems like he always leaves his doors open, which is his own choice. But if I stand on his travel anchor here, you'll notice that there's a few travel points that we can go to. So he's got up here, which is just past the staircase right here. Let's see, he's got over here, which is, again, the other side of the staircase. Down here, which is his part of his machine automation and applied energistics setup. That's where he's got his controller now, I see. That is a new controller. I think he just set that up the other day because he had not expected to need that quite so soon. And if I come over here, this will take me outside, and I can go up a few stories. As you can see that he has worked on these floating islands, which are looking pretty cool, if I do say so myself. But let's head back over to his place. And let's see if I can find his inscriber presses, because I'm sure he wouldn't mind if I used his calculation press. If he has one. I hope he has one. Oh, good, he does. Calculation is the only one I don't have, right? Logic, silicone, engineering. This, and this will get us another one. I hate to use his energy, but I'm sure he won't mind. I have no other options right now, so it's pretty nice because he has gone through and I think found most of these meteors and found them to be not so helpful. So, oh, I actually didn't see this one. I wonder where this goes, or maybe it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, I guess not. Okay. But this is his Botania setup. It is a pretty small one that he has set up here, but it's done everything that he wants. I think he's got a Sojourner sash, maybe. I know he already has an Angel ring. And that's something else that I plan on doing. Maybe the episode after next is getting into killing my first Wither or two, just to see what we can do there. These are his skulls that he's gotten from his bosses, and that's been pretty cool for him. I did go ahead and plant these essence berries out here, essence berry bushes, that way I can start slowly but surely harvesting some XP, and that is another thing that I want to do on another episode, because I want to automate the process of gathering the XP from those. It's not a very difficult process, and it's actually pretty fun to do. I've done it before. And so I want to do it. I just, there's a lot of stuff that I've been wanting to do, but I've been trying to keep some content left over that I can do on camera. So that's basically what today's episode is finally going to consist of. So looking into what I'm going to need, I'm going to go ahead and start a speed run, or not speed run, a little sequence here, if you will, of me crafting a few items that I'm going to need, because it's going to take a lot of work, and it's not going to be very fun. So I will go ahead and do that, kind of get everything ready, because my AE stuff is going to be over here in this area probably, and I want to make sure that I've got everything nice and taken care of, so that I don't find myself having to kind of come back to stuff later that I needed to do. So I hope you enjoy this time lapse here, and starting this episode, I'm going to start using my own music that I made on my iPad. It's not the best music, but it's something. So I hope the time-lapse music doesn't kill you. If it does, then I suppose I apologize, but I'll see you guys in a bit. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully, you weren't too extremely bored by that very, 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 very long time lapse. That being said, I did an incredibly massive amount of stuff in that time lapse, so that could be, a good sign of kind of what's to come now. Hopefully, you guys can see the technological progression that the place that I live in here is going to be heading in. I'm just going to go ahead and fix this up. But basically, what I've done. This is my automatic, or rather slightly automatic, uh, inscriber press station for all of the inscriber types that you're going to need for silicone, pure Certus quartz, gold, and diamond. This chest here is an input and output chest for the automatic creation of circuits using the few components that are going to be required. And everything is automatically inputted and outputted through Ender IO conduits, and it is a very simple system that I've set up in the past several times, and it's still one of my favorite go-tos. So I use this to make creating the drives and stuff a lot easier, and it really was. It was really worthwhile doing that. And then I've got my charger. I've got 4 crystal growth accelerators here for making pure Certus crystals and other pure crystals very easy. As well as this is a pool of water that I can also use as a catalyst assistant for the creation of Fluix crystals. We have my ME drive here, and I made a single 16K ME storage cell and then 9 1Ks, and the 16K is what stores my bulk resources, such as cobblestone, dirt, my metals, everything else. It all goes into that one chest, or into that one drive. And I also set up, my ore processing again. I did it in sort of more of an analog fashion. Basically, this is my sorting chest, and so my sorting chest will come through here and deposit ores into this chest first, and if it doesn't go into this chest, then it goes into my storage system. Simple as that. So this means that if I just throw an ore in my system here, it won't actually get processed. It has to go through my ender pouch, but most of the time it does anyway, so I think that won't be a problem. And I used the crap out of my stone here. Not horribly, but quite a bit. I cleaned up my old simple sorting system that I had made before that I don't think I even had covered. But it wasn't really that exciting. I made it with extra utilities, and it wasn't exactly revolutionary or complex even. Still very simple. Over here, I've still got my filing cabinet for my mystical flowers from Botania, of which I actually do not have a lot of. I'm trying to keep that down to a minimal right now since I'm not really interested in it yet. But yeah, we have everything here now. The energy cell I seem to have noticed was using too much energy for a little while. Whenever I had these hooked up straight to RF, I think it was a buildcraft pipe problem. I don't think it had anything at all to do with the energy cell or the inscribers, because they seem to be working fine now. I think it just had something to do with the buildcraft pipes, but it could have very well been the inscribers and a bug inside of Applied Energistics itself. But I have noticed that ever since I have started my ridiculous energy draw that had triggered momentarily, where my energy cell almost completely depleted. Ever since that started, I came over here to keep an eye on my charcoal production several times, and had noticed that nothing had changed. It was still completely maxed out. So that means basically that we can go through and use probably a substantially greater amounts of energy going on for this network, which is going to be really nice because I plan on using a lot of applied energistics for automation in my house, for making auto crafting and a lot of other very neat and technical stuff. But I do hope you enjoyed this episode here. I do apologize that it was mostly a time lapse in the end, but I don't think that this would have been fun to set up on camera because I did a lot of stuff. And I've honestly been at work for this for about 2 hours now. And so I'm glad that it's done. You can see all of my stuff is all networked here and all close and together and set to go. But, that definitely, like I said, would not have been any fun at all to end up doing on camera. So, or rather, in a normal episode format. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I do hope you tune into the next one. And I hope you also take care. Have a happy holiday also, by the way. Today was Thanksgiving for us. Thanks so much.